Let's talk about niches this morning. Niche. N-I-C-H-E. What is a niche? Well, if you're going to have a YouTube channel, and especially if you're over the age of 50 like I am, you're going to want to narrow down your channel topic to a specific area of interest. And that's a niche. You want your niche to be so narrow so as the audience will know exactly what your channel's about, and the algorithm, YouTube, will know exactly who to send your videos to who are interested in that particular topic. So it's got to be narrow enough to reach an audience, a specific audience that the YouTube algorithm knows who to reach. But it's also got to be broad enough to where you've got enough of an audience who will give you a following. You don't want to niche down so far that you've only got 6 people who are going to be interested. On the other hand, you don't want a niche so broad that you've got millions and millions of people who are interested in that topic, and you're competing against thousands of other YouTube channels who are covering that topic. So you want to find some sort of, if you can, a unique interest, a unique niche topic that you're interested in. And so a niche is sort of a balancing act. You want it narrow enough to be specific enough to reach a specific audience, but yet it has to be broad enough so that you've got enough of an audience to give you some views and to give you some following. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. That's just one approach. Think of it this way. What if you really did niche down to a specific core group? What if you niche down to just a specific location? Let's say you live in Dallas-Fort Worth, the metroplex of Texas, and you're interested in golf. Well, there's nothing to say that you could start a YouTube channel just on specific golf courses and golf information and golf news and things that would be of interest to golfers just in the Dallas and Fort Worth area. Your channel could be niched down so far as to you're just trying to reach golfers in Dallas-Fort Worth, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that may be a really good way to approach a channel, because sponsorships, brand deals, advertisers will be looking for a specific audience. And if you can go to a marketer, to a brand, to a local Dallas-Fort Worth business and say, look, I've got 1,000 followers who all live in Dallas-Fort Worth and they're all golfers. That's a very specific target that business could market to. So it has its advantages. So you could niche down that far. Think of it this way also. You could even go even further. What if you're a school teacher and you've got 3 or 4 classes and maybe, 120 students total? Who's to say you could not start a YouTube channel just for those students? Just for that 120 students. That is your target audience. And you make it a requirement for all of them to view your channel, where you're going to discuss, topics of the day and test requirements and assignments. Be real specific, and you're just targeting those 120 students. I would venture to say that a channel like that might go viral, because it would be so specific and be so targeted to such a small group of people that the information and the video itself, the channel itself, would be really an interesting thing to watch. It would be like a micro rather than a macro glance at society, at a specific part of the world. Be like taking a microscope and looking close up on something rather than looking at something from the broad perspective. So I guess my point is, when you're thinking about a niche, it can be as narrow as you want or as broad as you want. But I would say that the more broad, the more wide the audience, the more difficulty you're going to have in reaching an audience because of the competition. Let's say you're a comedian and you want to have a channel that features your nightclub acts or your comedy routines. Well, look at the competition you're going to have. And it's very difficult to make a channel successful from the entertainment standpoint. It's much easier to do it from the educational standpoint. Many have said that YouTube, there's two kinds of channels. There's either entertainment or there's education, and you got to choose between the two. You're either going to teach something or you're going to try to entertain people. So I'm not sure which way for you, when you're thinking about starting your channel, how you would want to niche down and what particular topic you would want to get into. But let me give you some suggestions here. First of all, if you're thinking about a YouTube channel and you're over the age of 50, first thing you want to think about is what you're interested in. What is it you yourself personally are passionate about? That's what you want to do. You want to write down a list of things, list of areas in your own life, your personal life that you're interested in. What are you passionate about? Do you love to play golf? Do you love to play paddleball? Do you like tennis? Do you like art? Do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to garden? What is it that you find interesting? More than likely, if you're interested in something, there's going to be other people who are interested as well. Perhaps even thousands or millions of people. I mean, you look at the subject of gardening, there are hundreds of thousands of YouTube channels featuring gardening. So find an interest. What is it you're passionate about? And then think about how you can niche down and be a little bit more specific within that broad topic area, that broad interest. And then think about how you can home in on a specific target within that niche. Perhaps it's based on a certain location, or it could be on a certain age group. Look for a demographic within that niche and try to narrow down that broad topic into a niche that your channel can be about. Well, once you've found your interest, once you found your topic that you want your channel to be about, the next thing you want to think about is the audience. What potential audience would you target? Are you going to be targeting a broad age group, like anyone from high school to retirement age? Or will you try to target just people over 50? Like I have adapted this channel for YouTube growth and for social media development. I'm targeting people over the age of 50 because I'm over 50. I'm looking for us older folks who want to get into social media. And so I have lopped off the entire population of viewers for my channel if they're under the age of 50. I'm not trying to reach them. I want to reach those who are older. So you have to ask yourself, what audience am I trying to look for? Am I looking for basically men, or am I looking for women, or am I looking for both? There are channels that are suited just for women, and there are channels that are more suitable just for men. And then, of course, there are those that could go either way. So that's something else to think about. Think about what kind of an audience you want to reach. If you were to pick one viewer, pick one person who you think would be interested in your channel, sit down and describe that person. Who would they be? Let's say you've got a passion for golf and you're interested in golf and you live in Arizona and you're in a resort community, you're retired, you're over the age of 50. So you want to start a YouTube channel based on golf for people over 50. And maybe you want to target just men, retired men who are over the age of 50 playing golf. And maybe you even want to narrow it down to folks in the Southwest, in Arizona. You could go that far if you wanted to. Well, what kind of viewer is going to be watching that video? What kind of viewer is going to be watching that channel? Sit down and describe that person. And try to get in your mind one person who's going to be watching that channel. And then when you start making videos, keep that person in mind. Don't think about trying to reach a broad audience. Think about reaching one person. If I can reach that one person who I'm thinking about, then the rest will take care of itself. It's much too intimidating to think about having to reach 1,000 people and trying to please 1,000 people. But if I can please just one person, makes life so much easier. All right, so you've got your interest, you've got your passion for your channel, you've got the audience in mind, you know who that specific person is you want to reach, that specific audience. The other thing you need to ask yourself is, the information I'm going to be sharing, is there a demand for it? Do people actually need to see this? If there's no demand, then there's no need to waste your time doing it. And that will help you when you think about a demand. It will help you narrow it down even further on what kind of information you need to share. Maybe there is a gap of information that people are not addressing in your niche, in the interest that you're going to have on your channel. Maybe there's a specific question or an area of questions that people are not getting an answer for. And it would take some thought, would take some research, take it would take some thinking on your part to decide, what is it about my niche that people don't talk about? What questions do I have that I really can't find an answer for? And maybe that will help you decide whether or not your channel is worth going forward with. You need to come up with a system of content that people actually want to see. If nobody wants to see it, then what's the point? Because people aren't going to be watching your channel at first because of you. They don't care about you. They don't know you. You're a total stranger. They're going to be looking at your channel for information. Now, later on, after you build an audience and you've been on YouTube for a while and you've got followers, then maybe some people will continue to follow you because they like you. They like your particular style. They like the way you talk. But at the beginning, people, they don't know you from a man in the moon. So it's about the information. It's about the content. So when you are looking at the content for the channel, you want to ask yourself, is there a demand for it? Is there a need for it? And how can I use my personal experience, my individuality to try to reach that audience, to answer that specific question? You want to find a specific question within a certain niche and try to answer it. That's the key. That's the goal. Well, I guess that's all I've got to share with you today. I was just sitting here having breakfast and I thought, I think today I want to talk about niche and just really home in on that one particular part of starting a YouTube channel, trying to come up with what your channel is going to be about. I hope it was helpful. Well, if you had some value in this video, let me know. Get in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bells and whistles so that you'll get notification of when I come back on with another topic, with another video, and I appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I thank you if you've lasted this long, thank you so much for staying with me on this video, and go out and have a good day, and I will see you again soon.